Hello, today we are going to see about macroeconomics. So, we will start with our first slide. That is what we are going to see in this macroeconomic class. We are going to deal with macroeconomic indicators, macroeconomic policies, macroeconomic theories, and at last we are going to see about conclusion. So, at first, what are the macroeconomic and how they deal with the country as a whole in terms of economic policies and strategies. So first we are going to look about macroeconomic. So macroeconomics is the branch of economics that focus on the behavior of the economy as a whole rather than individual market or economic agent. It deals with issues such as national income, inflation, unemployment, economic growth. In terms of economic policies and studies, macroeconomics seeks to understand the interaction between different sectors of economy and the effects of various policy instruments on overall economic performance. Some common macroeconomic policies and studies include monetary policy, fiscal policy, and trade policy. Microeconomics can be analyzed using various tools and models such as national income, which measures the total output and income of an economy, and the Phillips curve. Macroeconomic policies and studies are designed to address specific economic facing a country, such as high inflation, low economic growth, or high employment rate. Overall, macroeconomic provides a framework for understanding the performance of the economy as a whole, developing effective policies and strategies to address its challenge. And then we are going to look about history related to macroeconomics. So, macroeconomics as a distinct field of study emerged in 1930 in response to Great Depression. Prior to this, most economists focused on economic analysis which examined the behavior of individual consumers and firms. One of the most influential figures in development of macroeconomics was John Keynes. In his 1936 The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, Keynes argued that market economics were inherently unstable and prone to periods of high unemployment and low economic growth. He argued that government intervention through monetary and fiscal policies was necessary to stabilize the economy and promote full employment. In response, a new school of macroeconomic thought emerged known as New Classical or New Keynesian economics. This school emphasizes the importance of market forces in determining economic outcomes, which will acknowledging the role of government policy in stabilizing the economy. So these are the some history related to macroeconomics. Now we are going to see the difference between macroeconomics and microeconomics. So macro and micro are two different branches of economics that focus on different level of analysis. While microeconomics examines the behavior of individual consumers, customers, firms, and market, but macroeconomic looks at the behavior of economy as a whole. Microeconomic deals with decision-making behavior of individual and firms, how they interact in market to determine prices and quantities, while macroeconomics, on the other hand, deal with overall performance of economy, including issues such as economic growth, inflation and unemployment. In summary, while microeconomics focuses on individual behavior and market outcomes, macroeconomics focus on the behavior of economy as a whole and how government policies can be used to influence its performance. Now we are going to look about the importance of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is important because it provides policymakers and analysts with a framework for understanding and managing the overall performance of the economy. By studying issues such as economic growth, inflation, unemployment, macroeconomics can develop policies and strategies to promote stability and prosperity for a country as a whole. Now we are going to look about the some indicators of macroeconomic. So first is GDP. GDP is a measure of total value of goods and services produced within a country borders during a specific period, usually a year. It is important indicator of a country economic performance and used to measure changes in economic activity over time. Now we are going to see about inflation. Inflation is a general increase in the prices of goods and services over the time, leading to a decrease in purchasing power of money. It is usually measured by the rate of change of in the consumer price index, which tracks the price of a basket of goods and services consumed by household. Now we are going to look about unemployment. Unemployment refers to percentage of the labor force that is not currently employed but is actively seeking work. It is an important indicator of health of the labor market and overall economy. Unemployment can be classified into different types such as frictional, structural, and cyclical, depending on the cause and duration of joblessness. Now we are going to look about balance of payments. The balance of payment is record of all financial transaction between a country and the rest of world over a specific period, usually a year. It includes transaction in a good, services and financial assets and used to assess a country international trade and financial position. If a country exports more than it imports, it has a surplus in the balance of payment, while a deficit occurs when import exceed imports. So these are the some microeconomic indicators of economics. Now we are going to look about some macroeconomic policies. The first one is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the use of government spending and taxation to influence the economy. It involves decision on how much to spend on public goods and services, how much to tax, and how to finance any budget deficit or surplus. Fiscal policy is used to simulate or slow down economic growth, stabilize prices, and address other macroeconomic issues. And second, we are going to look about monetary policy. So monetary policy is the process by which a central bank, like in India, it is RBI, manages the supply and demand of money in the economy to achieve its macroeconomic goals. It involves decision on interest rate, reserve requirements, and open market operation, which influence the amount of money in circulation and its cost. Monetary policy is used to control inflation, stabilize the currency, and promote economic growth. Now we are going to look about international trade policy. The international trade policy refers to a set of rules and regulations that govern the trade of goods and services between countries. It includes measures such as tariffs, quotas, subsidies, and regulations that affect and cost and competitiveness of import and export. International trade policy used to promote domestic industries, protect national security, and improve the terms of trade. Like in India, we are heading the G20 group and also the free trade policies agreement between two countries. Now we are going to look about exchange rate policy. The exchange rate policy refers to decision made by central bank or government to influence the value of domestic currency relative to other currency. It involves intervention in the foreign exchange market, such as buying or selling currencies to stabilize the exchange rate or adjust it to achieve specific policy goals. Exchange rate policy is used to promote international trade, control inflation, and manage external debt. So these are the some macroeconomic policies. Now we are going to look about different theories related to macroeconomic. Okay, so we are going to look about different theories that related to macroeconomics. The first one is classical economics. The classical economic is a school of thought that dominated economic thinking from the late 18th century to the mid 19th century. It emphasizes the importance of market forces and the role of self-interest in determining economic outcomes. According to classical economists, the economic is a self-regulating and will naturally tend towards full employment and equilibrium provided that markets are allowed to operate freely. So these are like the basic definition of classical economics. Now we are going to look about Keynesian economics. So Keynesian economics is a school of thought that developed in early 20th century in response to the Great Depression. It emphasizes the role of government intervention in stabilizing the economy and achieving full employment. According to Keynesian economists, government spending and taxation policies can be used to simulate or slow down economic growth, and monetary policy can be used to control inflation. Now we are going to look about monetarist economics. So in monetarist economics, this is a school of thought that developed in 1960s and 1970s as a critique of Keynesian economics. It emphasizes the importance of controlling the money supply and keeping inflation in check. According to monetarist economics, the government should focus on maintaining a stable growth of rate of money and supply and allow market to allocate resources efficiently. Now we are going to look about a renewed form of Keynesian economic, that is New Keynesian economics. New Keynesian economic is a school of thought that developed in the 1980s as a response to criticism of traditional Keynesian economic. It emphasizes the role of imperfect competition and sticky prices and wages in causing economic fluctuation. According to New Keynesian economics, government intervention can be effective in addressing these market failures and achieving macroeconomic stability. They also recognize the importance of expectation and forward-looking behavior in shaping economic outcome. So these are the some macroeconomic theories that related with it. Now we are going to look at the conclusion of conclusion of macroeconomics. So what is the future of it, what is the importance of understanding macroeconomics, and what is the call of action responsible for economic policy making. So in conclusion, macroeconomic is the branch of economics that studies the overall performance of the economy, including issues such as economic growth, inflation, unemployment, and international trade. It provides policymakers with a frame for understanding and managing with the economy and developing policies and strategies to promote stability and prosperity. Macroeconomic theories and models have evolved over time, from classical economic to new Keynesian economics. By analyzing macroeconomic trends and identifying the cause of economic fluctuation, policymakers can make informed decisions and take action to promote long-term economic growth and development. Thank you.